Howdy, 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 and welcome to the Garden Nerd. On today's episode, I'm going to be showing you how grapes from the vine to the jar, aka grape jelly. Alright, let's get started. Alright, just taking a quick look in the grapevine here. We got grapes all over the place. You can see them just kind of popping down through the trellis here. And I have quite a lot of fruit, so I'm pretty excited. Last year, if you remember, I didn't have too good. I think it was too dry of a year. But this year we've had it pretty good in rainy season, so I have a lot of fruit. So now I get to go and pick it all. Alright, so basically you just can go around and pick the ripe ones. You'll obviously be able to tell which ones are the ripe ones by taste testing. Yeah, that's good. And then on some of them, they might just all fall off like this clump here. And then obviously you take the ones that are purple and not green if you have concord grapes like I do. And then any of the super dry ones are just, you know, no good for jelly. They're just kind of like raisins. Fairly tasteless. Not like it's gonna hurt you either way. But basically you want the nice plump ones and the ones that aren't rotting. Alright folks, I'm just going to go get a pickin' and I'll see you later. Alright, so here are some of the grapes that I've harvested so far. There is quite a lot in here. So these guys are going to go and become jelly. There's still quite a bit of fruit left on the vine there, so I'm going to probably get quite a lot of jelly this year. Alright, so after picking a bunch more, you rinse off the grapes, you pour them into your pot. You turn the heat on, and then basically you're just going to mash them up to get them going a little bit, using like a mashing tool here, kind of for like mashed potatoes things, just kind of start breaking them up a bit. Then you're going to let it boil for about 10 minutes until it becomes nice and juicy and gooey, and then you're going to switch it over to a food mill, and you're going to mill it down into the juice. Alright, so the grapes have been boiling for about 10 minutes now. It's nice and loose and gloppy. So now I'm going to transfer it from here. I'm going to ladle it into the food mill over my larger pot. Alright, so the juice has now been made. I'm now getting ready to do the canning part here. I have a new pan here, so I have the juice over to the side, so I'm going to add 6 cups in, since I only have enough pectin to do one batch right now, and the rest I'll have to refrigerate and do later or run out to the store and get it. I also have over here the lids boiling in there, and the oven itself, I have the canning jars there heating up, so this way they are nice and sterile, and then I have the hot water bath starting to go right there. So now I'm just going to add the juice. Got the juice here going, the jelly. Now I'm going to add the pectin into it, and I'm going to add the sugar. Just add the pectin in. That's going to dissolve into it. Just stir that in so the clumps are all gone. Alright, now next comes up 7 cups of sugar. So I'll be adding that now. I've measured out the 7 cups of sugar. Yes, that is a lot of sugar. There are, you know, low sugar recipes, but I don't get the proper pectin for that, so I'm just going to dump that in. And it's a ridiculous amount of sugar. So now we're going to mix this all in together until it becomes one nice glumpy thing, and then I will be testing it. I'll show you how I do that right after this. Alright, after about a minute in the freezer, the jelly there, though a little wet, has pretty much set. So that's a pretty good sign, if I remember correctly, that you now have a thing that can now set for jelly. Tastes pretty good. I mean, it should, because it's just a ton of sugar, and it's grape flavored, which is pretty yummy. So, now it's going to be time to do the canning. So, I have my area set up here, and I have my tools ready. a jar grabber, which will be very useful since you don't want to, you know, burn your hands by picking up the jars. So this is going to be useful to take them out of the oven where I'm keeping them nice and warm, so this way when you put the jelly in there, it doesn't crack the glass and also, you know, keeps it sterile. Also, when you're putting it into the water bath, as well as just handling them when they're hot, so that's going to be useful. I didn't have these a couple years ago. Much better, much easier to deal with these. Spend like the $20 on the kit, and you will be like, oh wow, I'm dumb for not getting it before. Then this here is the funnel that sits in the jar, and then you can fill it up there, and it gives you the proper head space for when you're filling the jars. Because when you fill the jars, you want about ½ an inch of air in there to help seal it. Have the caps ready on the side. Also, you have the magnetic thing to go get the lids out of the hot water. Another great tool to have, because again, doing it without these basic tools is doable, but I found that this is a lot easier. I have a towel right here, ready to go to put the hot things on, transfer it here. This way, the hot sticky mess will go onto the towel. Also, you're not putting it straight onto your counter, so if you have, like, you know, counters, you don't want to mess them up from the heat and stuff from the jars, that's the way to go. I just do this like this is my setup. Alright, so now I'm going to get to filling the jars. Alright, so we have another jar at the ready. We have the funnel, so I'm going to go over it one more time. You're going to take the funnel, put it on top. You'll then carefully ladle in your jelly into the jar. Alright, so now that it's there, you're going to take a wet rag or paper towel, just go around the lip of it to make sure that the seal is clean, which it is good. You're going to take the lid, stick it on top, and then you're going to take the cap and you're just going to screw it on loosely. Since they're still hot, I'm just going to stick them off to the back, wait for there to be enough to put into the hot water bath. They've been in the hot water bath now for a while, about 10 minutes I believe, so they should be pretty good and shelf stable now. Now I'm just going to fish them out and stick them out to set. Alright, so 7 are done. I have 3 more from this batch. I still have more to do, but that's basically how you can jelly. You're going to leave these on the counter back here for 12 to 24 hours. Once they have cooled to the touch, you're going to go back and you're going to tighten up the seals by just tightening them up. They're still hot now, so don't touch them. And then to set them, sometimes you need to set them in the fridge so they will actually harden up into jelly. Other times they'll just jellify themselves. Since we just heated them up in the water bath, they're now kind of liquidy. So now we're just going to let them set and become jelly. Alrighty folks, that's how you make the grape jelly. You know, it's fairly straightforward, I think. Pretty simple for, you know, canning if you haven't done it before. And if you have a grapevine, you're going to have an abundance of fruit like I do. You're going to have to figure out something to do other than just kind of pop them in your mouth and eat them. But yeah, that's how I do it. Hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and check out, you know, some of my other videos. I have some, like, cooking ones for, like, zucchini bread and whatnot. I'll put a link to that somewhere in the outro, I guess. I don't know. Alright, thanks. Bye!